Everything's rolling.
Yep.
Watch your mouth. Don't make fun of my outfit.
I'm trying to see it. I would never make fun of you. Well,
Can I have this?
yes.
Oh, Jesus, I almost tipped the coffee over.
Yeah.
That would not be good.
And now for something special. The unit is self-contained with its own saddler, farrier, wheelwright and so on. It's a rigorous training dished out who know all there is to know about horses, and it brings results.
We take you behind the scenes now to show just some of the interesting aspects of this training.
Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, the award-winning #1 podcast that creates sound of horses from the ground up. Mike Stine is a registered journeyman farrier with an APF 1 accreditation. On this week's show, Talking Terminology, we're going to talk about the caudal heel pain. We also have a case study of a horse named Peter, so get on board right now over on the YouTube channel. And also discussions of making shoes out there in the field in a pinch. All this and much more will be discussed here on Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. And over to my far right side is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing good, Travis. How are you today?
Doing all right. Are you doing all right? Are you doing good? Are you sad because I'm going away for 2 weeks?
I am brokenhearted.
I'm going away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm brokenhearted.
I know. Well, it'll be all right. So we're doing this show, and then myself and my wife and I are going to take a 2-week vacation, travel all across Europe, and then come back and continue with the show here. So now's your chance to go back and get caught up on all the past episodes that you might have missed over the last couple of weeks or so. So, Mike, how are you? You said you're good. You feeling good?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Is your red blanket working well for you on your back?
Yeah, it's working good. Up, back, front, side. You know.
Are you using your TENS unit?
Not at the moment.
No, not now. So I don't have that buzzing sound.
No.
The buzzing sound that I hear is just you normally humming.
My normal buzzing.
Okay. What's been going on with you? Anything new? Anything exciting?
Well, I've had a couple of the farriers working with me some.
Okay.
And we have had some discussion about some regular get-togethers.
Like barbecue get-togethers or like clinic barbecue or clinic get-together type deals?
Working on skills.
Okay.
You know, and, it's like one of them is fairly fresh out of shoeing school. Another one is getting ready to go to shoeing school. And there's a couple of guys who've got a few years under their belt who I have been talking to lately. And, I've got a lot of shop equipment as far as like blacksmithing and, of course, years of whatever. And it doesn't hurt me to bone up and polish up on some skills. It's good for me. And hopefully I can share a few things back and forth, and everybody has done some stuff a little different.
Are you going to videotape this collection of farriers?
I hadn't even thought about it, but possibly.
That'd be a great thing to put on the YouTube channel. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we're actually live today. This is our first live feed. We figured out what the password was to get in Mike's account. I had to, act of Congress to get the password, but we figured it out. We got it. So right now, from now on, we're going to be live. Not the whole entire show, just the first segment of the show. That way, you guys can watch the first segment, see how things are going on, and then come back later and see the whole entire video all in itself. So I know little snippets, little bits and pieces at a time that you guys can enjoy. So if you videotape this, Mike, we can put it on the YouTube channel and you can see it, and we'll dissect it up. And if it's an hour long, we'll dissect it up in one big hour long and then a couple 5-minute segments, and so they can kind of skip around to it and stuff. So that's a good idea. If you need some help with that, just let me know. I got all the equipment and stuff that you need. I have the tools. I will travel type deal.
Okay.
One thing that I have come across here lately. Now we're starting to get in the spring,
right?
And we are going on a 2-week vacation.
Yes.
So, as you know, we have Cayenne and Dominique here on the property.
Right.
And so my dad lives with us, and he's 79 years old, and he can't move a whole lot. And what's making the whole entire trip kind of tense right now is my wife is, for the first time, is going to have a horse sitter here on the property.
Right.
For the 13, 14 days that we're gone. Normally we have the neighbors. The neighbors will come over, but we're only like at a jump for like 2 or 3 days at a time.
Right.
This is the first time we've actually hired someone to come on the property that we don't know. Now, she came recommended to us. So she came highly recommended to us from Brett, the trainer. And so we met her, And she's just this little thing. I mean, she's probably 100 pounds soaking wet. But between her and her husband, I guess they have like 8 different horses, and they have a whole property of cattle and all this stuff. And this is what they do. This is their job. This is their quote unquote. Right.
There are people that have turned that into a side hustle or a main hustle or somebody's hustle that will you need some. It's not bad to have somebody laying eyes on them and knows something about dealing with horses.
And that's what my wife was worried about. She was so worried about, the neighbors can come over and say, okay, well, the horses are moving around.
It's like they're upright.
They're upright. They're doing their thing. They're eating. I put food in. I come back the next day. The food's gone.
If I'm starting to get a little colicky, they'd probably miss it.
Exactly. So now we have. My dad's going to do the horses in the morning because he always drives around the property and kind of just picks up little things and odds and ends, feeds the chickens and whatnot.
Right.
And then feeds the horses. He can kick the hay into the stalls. He can't physically pick up hay or do anything like that. So he'll kick the hay, open the door, kick the hay, shut the door, and then dump the food in their bins, which is right inside the gate there or inside the barn door or the stall door. And then that would be it. He wouldn't go out there and check on them. He wouldn't stick his nose out there and look to see if anything's wrong.
We have power feeders where you just push a button. You can do it off
Sure.
do it off your phone.
We're not there yet, but they do have those. So now we have this.
I've got a client that has doors that they can open automatically.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's fancy town.
They can. They got horses that have a limited turnout where they can push a button or set a timer.
Right.
And it's time to open up where the horse go out. Then they go to do their evening feed and get them up.
So my wife has hired this person to come over, and she is more relaxed now because this person is a horse person. This person will put hands on the horse, to make sure that there's no cuts, there's no bruises and stuff. Now, she might be really, really meticulous like the first 2 or 3 days and then realize, hey, these horses are pretty docile. They're not going to get into fights or anything.
Right.
They get along fine out there in the pasture.
Well, I mean, they've been together for a while.
Yes, they have. Over 8 years together, the two of them. So they're fine. But
Cayenne doesn't usually give the mare too much of a bad time.
No, not at all. And for those of you new to the program, welcome. Cayenne is a miniature pony, a miniature mare, and Dominica is probably about 17, 18 years old, and so they get along out there good. But now my wife can relax. She can enjoy the trip. We have cameras everywhere, so at any given time, if we have
the only real headache she's got with the trip now is,
me basically, and me sitting on this 8 to 9 hour flight in those seats. So hopefully we'll have enough room to move around. And
she's going to be dealing with a 6-year-old, but
mentally 6 years old. All right, guys, we got a lot to get into, lots to talk about. And if you're not over on YouTube right now, jump on over there. You can see the full length podcast over in video form over there, completely unedited, deranged. And you can see all the different pictures and stuff that we have here. We got a case study of a horse named Peter. Mike's got a bunch of different photos, so it'll be fun will had by all. Is that what they say? Is that what the kids say? Fun had by all?
Sure.
Okay, so
we'll go with that.
Stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics.
Which kids say that?
With Mike Stine. He'll be right back. I did not put the photos in order, so I hope there's no real big order to them. It didn't look like there was an order.
There's not a real order to them.
Yeah, it's just like a front picture, a back picture, and then all the different hoofs.
Right.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Sure, we'll run with whatever brought to the track.
Okay. Talking terminology?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. Don't forget, you can join the podcast. The way you can do that is go to equinedynamics.com. At the very top of the page says join the podcast. Little orange bar, you click on that, opens up a microphone on your device. You can speak right into it. You can be part of the show. Your voice can be heard right alongside of us here in the studio. We broadcast every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. So your voice can come in here. You can ask Mike a question. You can say anything you like about the podcast. You can mention anything about my trip. You can mention anything that has been going on in Mike's life as well. And you can be anonymous too. So you can
you know anonymous?
I do know. I know many anonymous people, so they get their voices in here. So do that right now. Jump on over to equinedynamics.com, join the podcast. And over to my far hand side, my very own anonymity guy is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing good. How are you doing today, Travis?
I'm doing all right. You seem bummed out. Now, don't be bummed out because I'm leaving.
How could I be not be bummed out while you leaving, huh?
Well,
think about it.
I asked you before the show. I said, "What are you going to be doing while I'm gone?" And you said probably just sitting in the closet crying.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'll miss you so much.
Yeah. So, and we're live right now on the YouTube
Yeah.
channel, so check us out over there as well. All right, so talking terminology. This is a part of the show where we define words and phrases that you might hear in the barn from your dentist, your chiropractor, your vet, your trainer, or any of the barn workers you may see or come across in your path while you have a horse, or if you're just interested in terminology in general. So this week we're talking terminology. We're talking about the caudal heel pain. So what do we mean by the caudal heel pain? That's C-A-U-D-A-L pain.
Not cattle, caudal.
Yeah, caudal pain. Pain. I can't even say that word either.
Right.
So, now look at that.
Spam wants to talk to you.
Yeah. That's a European number.
European spam wants to talk to you.
So what do we mean when we talk about caudal heel pain?
Caudal heel pain would be pain in the back part of the hoof.
Okay.
Okay. I know when I worked for Doc Mansman, we had a lot of horses come in with assorted problems because it was a clinical situation. Myself, I was working there. Kurt Van Ord was working there. Doc was working there. Dr. King was working there. And we were just purely doing hoof problems with horses. But, back in the 80s, navicular, whatever, a sore in the back of the foot is navicular, right? Run hoof testers across it, get a sore pressure on the frog, whatever. Oh, it's navicular. Well, the thing is some of those are not. And if you're running hoof testers on a horse, and different states have different laws on that, and if you are, be extremely careful with them because you can inflict too much pressure. But all I can say is I'm getting a response here, right? And if it's in the back of the foot, it's the caudal part of the foot. So it's pain in the back of the foot is what it amounts to. Because as far as diagnosing anything past there's pain in the back of the foot, does it block out? Does it, does anything show up in an x-ray? And, the thing with some of these horses that are called navicular horses, there are some horses with some very clean looking navicular bones that have a lot of pain. So is it more soft tissue, bursitis, tendonitis, ligament problems, something along those lines, or is it true navicular? And I've seen horses with some ugly x-rays that you never made flinch, and they never had a problem with it throughout their careers. Might have been, had a horse had a cyst in the middle of the navicular bone that they tried to sell for a long time, a couple of times, and she kept getting turned down because of the x-rays. But that mare never was lame a day in her life.
So on my handy-dandy cheat sheet here, the definition I have of the caudal heel pain is sometimes called navicular syndrome. Affects the back of the hoof. Horses with this syndrome often have a short, choppy gait, resist turning, and tend to land on toe first. Now, I thought horses land on toe first anyways, no?
No.
Like the front when you see them? Maybe, I don't know.
No. In an ideal stride. If you want to do an extreme collection, like almost trotting in place or something, it's impossible for them to go heel first. If you see your race horses that are opened up, really stretching their stride out, if they landed toe first, they'd cut a flip. But in an ideal world, with good extension, enough extension, you'd want them coming in on their heel and then rolling into the toe. These horses that are toe stabbing usually are shortening their strides up. And there's a little more going on with the body than just the foot, but they're trying to protect the back of that foot and not land on it. And that goes with one of the reasons we're talking about horseshoes today, which that one's under the seat of my truck.
We can go out there and get it during the break.
Yeah.
I'll go out there and get it for you.
So anyway, figuring out what you can and can't do with them, but I have people with horses land perfectly flat. Slow walk to an extended walk, the foot's going to land a little different. A really slow jog to an extended trot, the horse is going to land a little different. A canter to a full out gallop, the foot's going to land a little different. So, I have people, it's supposed to land dead flat. And some of that has to do with bone column alignment, swing in the air, everything else involved. And can they get their back up? Can they move their pelvis under? Can they move their shoulder under? And your horses that aren't navicular will probably lock up in their shoulder. They'll be braced. They'll not get full range of motion, which will shorten their stride. And then you go back on the stuff Shannon was talking about with, with the nerves in the shoulder and all that. Is part of it.
Now, is this a fixable item through shoeing, or is this a fixable item through body work and what Shannon was doing with the massaging and chiropractic? Not that she's not a chiropractor, right? No, but with the body working and dealing with the shoulder and everything, is it a shoe issue or is it a combination of both?
It is a saddle placement issue. If you're trapping the shoulders with the saddle, it is a rider position issue. It is a training issue. It is a hind end issue. If the hind end is not coming through and pushing the horse, picking the horse off the front end, they're going to hit hard.
Now, that's the first time I've heard you say the term, it's a training issue. Normally it's either a physical thing, whether, like you said, the saddle, the rider, the shoeing, things like that. When you say it's a training issue, is it the trainer? Because a lot of trainers' ears just perked right up and said, "No, it's not me."
Right. It all flows down. It's all the farrier.
Yeah, it's all the farrier. It's all their fault.
But no, I mean, with dressage to get true movement, there are horses where the head is overridden and overflexed, and if they're broken at the pole, and the neck is not flexing like it should, the body's not going to work right. And some of that horses get locked into that position because of trying to move there too fast, trying to use hands more than the body, working through the body of the horse. And, true collection, the horse picks itself up and pushes into the bit. There are too many I run into where it's pretty obvious that, well, that's what we're doing, but the way the horse moves, the bit has been pulled back into the horse. And if they're pulling the bit back into the horse, you're going to get, a false extent. You may get a lot of leg movement in the front end, but if you watch that timing between front end and hind end, it won't be there.
And that should be a sign of a good trainer and a mediocre trainer. I don't want to say a bad trainer because I can't do it.
I don't think it's ever done intentionally.
Right.
And there's some problems with horses' conformation and everything else that plays into it. How many angles do you want to play into it? Because we can come up with 500 of them real quick.
That's season 16 that we'll talk about all that.
Right.
All right, guys, so stick around. We got a lot more to talk about. This is where we're going to cut the live stream off. So you can see the full-length podcast over on Mike Stine's YouTube channel. Just search Equine Dynamics Mike Stine over on YouTube. See the full-length podcast over there as well. So stick around. We got a lot more to get into, and we're going to talk about a case study of a horse named Peter, and that's when you can see the photos and pictures over on the YouTube channel. So stick around. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back.
I have dug through the truck this morning. I don't know where that thing got to, but it's in the cab.
Okay, don't worry.
Have you ever seen the cab of my truck?
Once.
I'm sorry.
X-rays and photos go here, Mike.
Okay. That's why I always put them there.
Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. Don't forget, you can follow him over on Facebook. The way you do that is search Equine Dynamics Mike Stine, all one word. No, it's all on one page. What am I saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
Just follow him over on Facebook, Equine Dynamics Mike Stine. He's got two different pages. That's what I'm trying to say there. Two different pages. He's got his personal page and his business page. And if he posts on one, he'll post on the other one. So if you find Mike Stine over on Facebook, just follow him over there. Either one, if he posts on one, he posts on the other one. And what he does is he posts a bunch of different articles, a bunch of different diagrams. These pictures, Mike, don't forget, you've got to post these pictures on your Facebook page. I did it on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
The people, my own personal Facebook page. And a lot of people, like horse people, were responding and they're interacting and are like, oh my God, look at these horses' feet and all that stuff. So, and you've got a larger audience than I do. So let's make sure that we put those on your Facebook page, and I'll teach you how to do it again. Don't worry.
Every day, every week, you'll have to teach me how to do it.
Okay. So make sure that you follow him over on Facebook, and he's going to post these pictures up there as well. And over to my far hand side, my very own, no longer social media manager is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing okay.
Just okay.
I'm doing spectacular, incredible.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep you in
good spirits.
Good spirits. I'm going to give you a lot of love and a lot of happiness.
You always do. Always do.
To last for 2 weeks until I come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss you more than you
I know you are. You're going to wake up Monday morning and make your coffee and head over here just by force of habit.
Just to be close to where you were.
Yeah, you're going to head over to a studio just out of.
We'll just cruise on. And me and your dad will do we'll run a couple podcasts. You
want to talk about getting my dad up? So you thought you had hard times getting up these stairs. You want to talk about getting my dad up these stairs?
We'll figure something out, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. So make sure you follow him over on Facebook as well. Now, Mike.
Well, I got all the techie stuff covered anyway, right?
You do. You have it all techied out. So, Mike, we're going to look at these pictures. This is a horse named Peter. Now, why are we looking at Peter? And I'll switch to the cameras
here.
Why
not?
Okay, I don't know. This is the pictures that you dealt me. So I'm like, okay.
I was asked to take a look-see at this horse.
Okay. And this horse, let me switch over to camera.
And these are the photos I was sent.
Okay. Oh, that's the thing we're going to talk about. Restream goes there. That goes there. There's what we're looking at.
There he is.
Now, this is Peter. Now, when I first pulled this picture up, I kind of went, what the, we are talking about horses here.
Right.
And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel.
That is a tail bag.
That is his back leg.
That's his back leg.
Okay. And this is a picture of, and for those of you not watching this, it's a treat to go over there. Be careful because the eyes can be deceiving here. So it's the front of a horse from like the chest down?
The chest down, yes.
And the right hind leg is strategically placed right in between the front two legs, and it's kind of an optical illusion. So this horse gets the name of Peter.
Right.
So
you named it.
All right. Make sure you talk right in that microphone.
You named it.
All right. So why are we looking at Peter here, literally?
Why? Because
I'll fix this for you. There.
This is a horse that I've had some discussion on and that we've been talking about. And you got to understand when you're looking at this picture, it is not completely square on with his chest, which will distort some things on its own.
I see right here, this divot right here, this muscle usually lines up right underneath
Yes, it does.
The horse's neck, and it's off to our right, the horse's left.
Right. And I don't think that is completely out of line as to what's going on there. And if you look at the knee height, well, two things. The hind end's not evened up. So that throws different pressure on each side. One pastern could be compressed down a little more than normal, or is that his normal stance? And is he lower? Like if you go look up into the chest muscles, you get the same thing on that side where they tie into the forearm, and a little different shape to the forearm.
Now, is it me or is his left foot pitched out just a little bit, toed out?
It is. Probably toed out a little bit,
because I'm looking
but also you got to remember your camera shot is not right dead on square with the horse. If you were dead on square with the horse, that would look a little different. And with the coronary band, there's some differences in front feet. They never match. And you can shift the hind end left, right, whatever, and they'll change that stance on the front end.
When I've gotten X-rays before, Mike, let me switch back to us here just for 1 second. And I've said, if you've got a horse, there's got to be an app on your phone that you can download to photograph horse. And the reason why I say this is that the app, I've never used one before, but the app should have grid lines on it, to show, ups and downs, straight vertical, straight horizontals.
Well, I've tried to hold my hands like that in front of the camera, and then you get your hands in the way of the picture.
But the reason why I'm saying this is because I had some chest x-rays done.
Right.
I was feeling a little pain in my chest, and I went to the doctor, and they said, okay, and they brought in a machine, and on the machine, now I know the phone can't do it, but it projected a shadow image to make sure that I was centered. Center of mass, it divided me in force, and it projected a cross basically on me or
right.
on me. So with a camera, an app on your phone Can't they do something where you can just make sure when you take a picture of your horse that you can get some kind of square, some kind of uniformity instead of just saying, okay, I am in the center. Maybe your eyes are in the center, but your phone's off to the side a little bit.
Right.
I guess that's where
I think
my complaint.
You want me to handle the techie end of this?
Somebody fix this, please.
Well, the thing is like old school, you could draw in the picture.
Right. So here we go. So this is Peter. Let's go to.
So there's going to be some differences in the forearm, and when you look at the back end, he is not quite standing even.
This is his tail bag, by the way.
This is his tail bag.
What Mike was saying.
And the 1 foot shifted a little forward, so that's going to skew the view of the top of the hip, how level they are, and he's got lower development up top, not a lot of development, fairly flat looking on the top of the rump. Got some decent thickness across the stifles. You don't want that too flat, at the stifle area, which is the next joint up from the hocks. And look at your gaskin muscles. Not terrible, but I can say from this horse is kind of laying on the front end. I mean, he's too heavy on the front, I'm sure.
Let's go back to the front. Here's the front.
And if you look at the amount of development and mass on the front end compared to the hind end of the horse, why do you get that much more mass up there? It's because he's been leaning on it for a while. And is he terrible? No. Is he fairly normal for what you see out there? Yeah, most of the time.
All right, now here's the hoof.
Right.
What are we looking at here on the hoof?
We are looking at feet. And these feet were trimmed a couple weeks ago. And I'm trying to decide if you look to like where the heels terminate, and there again it's a little cocked. The camera's a little cocked, so that skews it a little bit. Or the heels even from the tip of the frog back. The one that's on the side you're closest to is probably just a shade forward, which you would want square. And but this guy has apparently just had smashed heels pretty good. At least he's got a big frog. And
my running shoes look like that.
Like a big frog?
Well, no. Where I went, because I do my 4 mile run, and my wife looked at my bottom of my shoes.
And you wear one-sided.
And I wear it once. I'll go get it and show you during the break, and I'll show you
right
what my heels look like on my shoes. But yeah, I can relate to this completely.
And same general thing there. I mean, the frogs could be a little straighter. Heels could be back just a little more. It's more about positioning under the leg than how much length you got. The bulbs of the heels are not probably dead even. Ideally, they would be, but it also depends on what kind of bone column alignment you're chasing, as far as that goes. And
so this is you've cleaned it up a little bit.
Well, I didn't.
Oh, someone did.
Yeah. And like I said, for the looks of the bottom of these feet, I think there was some foot left on there, but apparently they were trimmed about 2 weeks ago. And look at the length of wall from the side where the hand is, and the amount of dirty stuff you got there to the outside. And is that horse a little longer around that side closer to the hand? Look all the way through the toe off the sole. And you look on the other side, the distance off the sole. So it's probably not trimmed quite square with the ground. And depending on conditions, a little more cleanup on the frog wouldn't be terrible. And there we are on, looks like a back foot again.
Yeah, this is the other foot.
Foot.
This one isn't as bad. I can see that near the hand here.
Right.
I
think it's a little more even on the back feet. And I don't know if on the front feet they were worried about making the horse sore or what. But for a 2-week-old trim job, there's a fair amount of foot there, and I have not had my hands physically on this horse.
When you're trimming, this is a little side note again. When you're trimming horses' feet, what's harder to do, the front foot or the back foot? Like position.
Depends on which way you're facing.
Is that it? They're all the same.
Well, I tell you what, I run into a lot with younger farriers on the back end because you're cocked off to the side, making it look like everything's leveled up from the side and not from down the bone column.
Right.
And so that inside heel sometimes will get left a little long. and then you start getting your hock rotation and all that kind of stuff is too long because it'll kind of end up rotating on the ground, which will change the flight path through the hind leg, and also it'll push the pelvis out from under it, push that out the back door. So just a few things to think about when you're bumping a foot with a rasp, because you can build all kinds of stuff and attach to feet, and if you can't get the foundation right, it's still not right.
Well, we're going to take a quick little break, and speaking about building stuff for the feet, we're going to come back, and Mike's brought a funky-looking shoe. Looks like someone stepped on it and rolled over it or something.
They did. They dropped it, and it bent.
It bent and stuff, so we're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine, and I'll bring my shoe in here, too. We'll be right back. I'll go get my shoe real quick. So these are my running shoes.
Yep. Also, do you have a piece of scratch paper?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So these are my running shoes. I'm not going to talk about it on the air. I'll just talk about it during the break here. So this is my right foot.
Right. Correct.
My right foot. This is my left foot.
Right.
Oh, no. Let me switch. I don't know if you can see the heels.
Yeah. It's eating up that one heel pretty hard.
But, yeah, see that? See how much this is all down? This is only, I got these at Christmas time. I'll show it to the camera here. Go ahead. Draw your picture. That's the one. That's the one that's the worst. And then this is the, you can see the difference between the two.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, look at that heel right there on the screen.
Right.
And that's all worn. And that's me running.
And does your ankle bother you on that side?
That's the side that my knee hurts.
Your knee hurts.
This one, yeah, that's a perfect prime example. This is the side where my knee hurts.
Can we talk about that on here for a second?
Sure.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll show up.
Okay.
We'll talk about this real quick and then go.
Let's talk about that real quick. And then let's talk about this and then throw this into the tail end.
Okay. Here we go.
Right. Go ahead. Left.
Forward.
Forward, backward, sideways.
Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. If you want to ask him a question, you don't want to go on the air, that's fine. The way you do that is go to equinedynamics.com. At the very top of the page says contact us. Make sure you fill out that form and put a return address, and we'll send you out some stickers, some magnets, and stuff from the show here. Just fill out that form. We broadcast every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be off for about 2 weeks. When we come back, we'll answer those calls and your emails and get your voice here on the show. And over to my far hand side is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing good, Travis. How are you?
Sorry, I was rushing a little bit because during the break, during the break, if you're watching this on YouTube, we do a lot of stuff during the breaks and stuff, little conversations that don't make it on the air, and you can see some of them are very interesting. I try to make it as entertaining as possible across all boards, all borders, and all media sources that you listen to the show. And last break, I brought in my shoes, and I said, Mike, these are my running shoes. I run 4 miles every day. And I showed him my heels, and he said, wow, look at that heel. I said, yeah, this heel's worse than the other heel. And I said, he goes, does your ankle hurt on that side? And I go, no, this is the side that my knee hurts. Let me give you an example here. Hold on. This is my left shoe, all right? You can see the heel looks pretty good on that side. Little wear in the back. This is off of my left side, my left leg. And then I showed Mike the right side.
You ever heard of odor eaters?
I just washed them. This is my right side. This is the side that hurts. This is my knee. Look how much of that wear.
It's been pretty aggressive on that outside.
And I didn't put two and two together. I just thought that's the way I ran. And you could see this comes off my right side. And that's the knee that I have a problem with. So you can tell me as a human how my feet are wearing. So, Mike, what did you want to mention about this?
Well, I know sometimes when there's an extreme problem, there's occasions where remember talking about Jim Crew and using the shims and all that. And I have done this some. And there again, you got to look at joint alignment before you do that, where some of these horses will be a little happier if you put a slight shim on one side that are cutting down on that side hard. And you can actually get them moving a little cleaner. And then when they kind of clean up, you can sneak that out of there. So it would be interesting in your situation.
You want to put a shim in my shoe?
Almost a little bit. And you can always take it out. I mean, sometimes they're swapping that, to get the horse in a better movement pattern. The shim's very short term. And if you are using that, you need to do as minimal as possible and get it out of there before you compress anything.
So should I go down and do that Dr. Scholl's thing and stand on the machine? I know there's a machine somewhere out there at CVS or whatever where you can stand on it. Like you stand on your right foot, it'll measure it, stand on your left foot, and it'll measure it, and it'll say, okay, you need, Dr. Or Dr. Scholl insert, 648 or something like that.
Right, and I've done that, but I also wonder if you, like what's the name of the company? Monroe Shoe Store or something like that. Anyway, it's pretty small, but it's over there by the Derby.
Okay.
But they do some custom orthotics, and it would be interesting to see what they would do with it.
Now, I
don't know how much you want to spend on an orthotic, but I don't care. It's your money.
Right, exactly. I know that my dad, at one point, he had problems walking with his feet. Now, he's 79 years old, like I said before. But at one time, they x-rayed his feet and actually almost 3D printed an insert that fit his foot to where he would walk normal.
Right.
And I put those in my shoes for a while because I assume my dad and I have both the same problem, being hereditary and stuff.
You know what assume starts with, right?
Yeah, I know what it does. And it did help. I could tell a difference in putting those inserts in. So maybe that's the right path I need to be on, is put some kind of, I'll just break off a piece of masonite cardboard.
Where does your knee hurt, just out of curiosity?
Where does it hurt?
Yeah.
On the inside, the left-hand side of my kneecap.
On the inside.
On the inside,
so you're hitting on the outside to save pressure on the inside, I guess.
Correct, yeah.
But as that wears off, you're trying to push that joint alignment. It looks like to me.
Yes.
Trying to bow your knee out a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
No, I mean, you say it doesn't make sense. When you're saying it, and it's registering in my head. Yes, it makes sense to me because I'm like, yes. When I lay in bed, I can do this all day long. If you're watching me, I can do the can straight up and down with my knee all day long. Do. As soon as I lay in bed and you lay in a fetal position, your knee wants to bend down or up or down depending on what side you're laying on.
Right.
That's when it starts hurting. It starts putting tension when you're twisting the knee just a little bit to the inside or outside.
Right.
Dr. Stine.
Well, I'm just guessing. Just guessing.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It does transfer over to what humans go through.
Right.
What a horse is going through at the same time. So there you have it. Thanks, okay. Mike. You healed me.
Yeah.
I can walk again.
I've got a healing hammer in the truck, but you got to smack in the back of the head with it.
Speaking of smacking stuff in the back of the head, what's with that shoe you got over there? Looks like someone ran over it 3 times with a bush hog.
They did. And this is actually, I talk about some of the innovativeness and working on the fly has been lost from the business.
Yep.
And because, if it's not pre-made, or if it's not this, or if it's not that.
Out of a shoebox.
There are people that are going more and more. So the skills of doing things is getting a little bit lost. And a lot of this, that, like when I was talking about Bob Smith, he kind of feels that way, that runs the Pacific Coast Horseshoeing School, because I had some chats with Bob about it.
And he's been on the show.
Bob's a great guy. But on the fly, can you?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
On the fly, and something had to be done, and young Farrier was talking about it, showed it to me. I'm like, well, that's cool. And you can sit here and say, well, he didn't do a handmade shoe. Well, when I was competing, I was practicing in the forge every week. And this young man has a family and 2 kids and everything else, is trying to make a living. And it takes a lot of time and many hours to develop the skills to do that. The other thing is, he's like, when you're poor, this is what you do. I mean, I carry a welder with me. Mm-hmm. And as far as completely hammering out a shoe like that, I probably wouldn't at this point.
So describe what it looks like, because to me, it looks like it was a normal horseshoe.
It's shaped like a G.
And you've taken one of the arms and brought it down to make it look like...
Right, I didn't, but yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Well, I say you, the person who did it.
The person who did it.
And then connected almost like this little, like a comma piece of metal to connect the left side of the shoe to the bent down right part of the shoe that looks like the letter G, and closing that gap there.
Right, and if you're looking at what I'm doing with the pin, say the bolt, your heels would set in, this area right here, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember talking about quarter cracks and different things in a G-bar. This is a rendition in a pinch in the field of a G-bar shoe. And so what it would do is it would transfer, this would catch some of the weight on the ground, is transferring some of the weight from the hoof to the frog, and from the crack back, he's got that part of the foot suspended, floating in the air. And he did it in a pinch and got it done. He didn't have a welder. I sat there and watched one of these guys, the guys that used to do a lot of demos.
Let me see it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
One time, and he was doing a bar shoe demo, and he started running out of propane, because when you start forge welding, you need some propane. He started, forge is dying down and all that. And so in a pinch, he hollered at somebody, says, "Do y'all have a framing nail in the barn?" And he punched a hole, stuck a framing nail in it, riveted it together. "Oh, I wanted to do it this way just so you guys would know how to get yourself out of a pinch." And it was workable. Was it something you do in a contest? No. Was it necessarily the prettiest thing you would ever see? Not necessarily. But the deal of it is a lot of people, you can jump up and say, "Well, I would do this and I would do that," and that's not, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not artwork. Well, maybe it is artwork if you look at some of the art out there, but a lot of artwork. Actually, it is very much artwork. And he used like fold build to even out the shoe where the rest of his Z-bar was in. And
so I'm holding this up to the camera so everyone can see it a little bit better.
But he had enough heat to bend the shoes around, cut them off, and literally riveted them together with a couple of rivets, and they held. And the thing of it is you can come up with all kinds of ways to criticize it. And boy, he should have used a spider plate. He should have done this. He should have welded it together. He should have done a complete handmade shoe and made a G-bar handmade, or that's not real horseshoeing. But you know what? It was very real horseshoeing out in the field in a pinch.
This is more horseshoeing than the people pulling stuff out of a shoebox and going,
a lot more.
No,
a lot more.
No. All right, this one works.
And he got innovative, and he found a way to do it. And you know what the thing is? That horse didn't care if that looked like jewelry or not. But he got that horse happy and taken care of. And that's the big thing. He got that horse happy. And another thing he had done, which is hidden under the bottom of the truck that he'd showed me, was, and the reason we brought up navicular and caudal heel pain was...
Mike drew some pictures here.
Some drawings.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
Basically, this is what they would call a Tennessee navicular shoe.
I know the picture's a little blurry, but you get the point, yeah.
But, the Tennessee navicular shoe, I've not seen any in the shop for a long time, but that got to be a kick, where you had like a double thick shoe up to a point, and the horse could land relatively flat and then roll forward. When it came here and started loading, it picked the back of the foot off the ground. And then usually put a lot of brake over in it to get off of the flexor tendon, right? And but when it was loaded at whatever point this point was, the heel was, the ground would be in here. If I can draw.
You can draw.
Not real good.
Close enough.
But the weight would be off the back of the foot, and you're shifting it forward a little bit to get it off the back of the foot where you're getting a pain response. And from the bottom, he had taken shoe and taken a part of another shoe.
This is why you watch us on This is why you watch us on the YouTube video.
There.
Uh-huh.
And come up with this kind of design. And I've done those. And right now, if I did that, I wouldn't forge out a shoe, because what you would do is take a really long piece, turn a shoe, fold your bars over, forge weld them in, punch your nail holes and all that. Can it be done? Yes.
And this all comes from knowledge of knowing what to do as far as looking at the shoe.
But well, he didn't do a handmade, and no, he didn't. And did he? Like he said, when you're poor, you do things. Does he have a welder and some of the equipment I do? No, he does not. And I've built that up over many years. And did he get in another situation? He got this horse happy. He got this horse working. So you can always find ways to criticize everything, but at the end of the day, the horse was happy on both these cases. Was this these guys that are doing the forging contest, is this something that would pass off there? Not a day, no chance. But reality of day-to-day work is to get the horse happy.
But in the competition on the is it creativity? Can they do you get points for creativity?
No, they have spec shoes that you make.
Okay.
And I just had a horse come down.
I know we're getting off topic here, but I mean, is
from up Northland that I'm doing for the winter. They said I could reset the shoes as long as the horse was down here, and they did handmade shoes on the horse and did a beautiful job of handmade shoes on the horse. Mm-hmm. And they're right with the amount of metal they put on those shoes. Can I reset them? The other thing is this horse is going to gallop cross country courses, and do you want after the horse the shoes wear some, they'll lighten up, and there's enough metal in there that I'm sure he might reset. I've heard people, well, if I do handmade shoes, I can use them for 6 months before resetting, so I save money or whatever. But when you're putting that much weight on a horse, and it's going to be galloping down the cross country course, and the weight slinging against the joints, how much problem is that going to be for that guy as he does that however many times? And that concerns me, because I don't want to go extremely heavy on those horses. But if you're going to build a shoe that's going to last half the season or half the year, you're going to have a lot of metal on it, and it's going to weigh. It's going to be heavy. So I don't see that. Yes, you can make it last, but on the other end, is that good for your horse?
All right, guys, we're going to take one more little quick break, and we'll let you get back to playing with your ponies. You're listening to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. He'll be right back. You ready?
Yep.
Come back. What did we learn?
What did we learn?
We learned a lot today. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Welcome back to Equine Dynamics with Mike Stine. Don't forget, you can join the podcast. The way you do that is to go to equinedynamics.com. And when I say join the podcast, your voice can be heard right alongside of us here in the studio. You can ask us a question, comment about the show, comment about myself or Mike Stine, or anything that you'd like to get on the air for other people to hear as well. Go to equinedynamics.com. At the very top of the page says join the podcast, and it's got a little microphone. You speak right into it, and your voice can physically be heard right alongside of us. We're going to be gone here for about 2 weeks while I'm on vacation. Maybe I'll put a shim or two in my shoe so I can walk around Europe and not wear down my shoes at the same time.
It'd be a curiosity,
Yeah, I'll try it when I get back. When I get back, I definitely will try it. And over on my far hand side, my very own podiatrist, my personal podiatrist, is Mike Stine. How are you?
I am doing good.
All right, so what did we learn today, Mike?
What did we learn today?
Talking terminology, talking about the caudal heel pain.
Yes. Pain in the back of the foot.
And that's C-A-U-D-A-L, caudal. Caudal heel pain. What is that, and why are we talking about it?
If you're going to the caudal, it would be,
don't try
to the back of the foot.
Okay, all right.
Or the back of the horse. It's a directional term. And caudal heel pain would be pain in the back of the foot on the ground surface if you were to run hoof testers on it. And if you were going to do that, be very careful, be very gentle. And, different states have different rules as far as what we are allowed to do. So know where you're working, and I'm not suggesting that people that are inexperienced with them should do that.
Now, when you say states have rules, is it in competition, or is this like, Dominique and Cayenne that are out here? The state's going to come by and yell at you for doing something to my horses?
Well, no. Hopefully not. But I know, as I understand it, when you're working FEI stuff, at this point, there was a time when we would ease through hoof testers, and at this point, the farrier's not supposed to put hoof testers on a horse. It needs to be done by the veterinarian.
Okay.
Which, when I first started, you're trying to ease horse through trot out. Sometimes you need to shoe off and be very gentle looking for any response. Grind out the back of the shoe, get rid of the nail in that area, maybe some pad work. If on one side, maybe use a couple little racing nails to attach to just eliminate pressure. But sometimes you need to find the pressure to eliminate it. But when I was at the WEG, nobody was to have hoof testers.
And on my handy-dandy cheat sheet here, it says caudal heel pain is defined as sometimes called navicular syndrome, affects the back of the hoof. Horses with the syndrome often have a short, choppy gait, resist turning, and tend to land toe first.
Yes.
And also a case study of a horse named Peter. Let me get back to Peter's pictures here.
Yeah.
And
kind of one-sided, but he's standing kind of uneven.
I got to remember which camera that one there. Sorry.
If you're on level ground, and this is where halter horses are good, they will stand square. And some of this, too, if he always stands in the same kind of position, is that because of something being not comfortable? The position of the camera will skew things a little bit, and the position of the leg will change the shape of the muscle. So, just in the fact of looking at a lot of horses, you start deciding what, when, where, and his body needs to move forward. And if you get them moving forward, if they're unsquare, most of them will try to square themselves up. Some of them need a little more help.
And this is the hoof from Peter.
That's the hoof,
where it's all kind of blown out on this side and
kind of blown out on the sides a little bit. Apparently, his feet were trimmed like 2 weeks ago. And
there's a great example of it being blown out on the side.
Probably was not a lot taken, or there wasn't a lot taken off at that time. And they're probably concerned about making this guy sore because he's apparently pretty flat-footed. My guess is if you shot lateral X-rays, he'd be a low palmar angle or flat, and you got to pay attention to the bony column alignment, which that doesn't seem to get talked about a lot anymore.
And also about making shoes out in the field. And Mike did
how crooked Travis is.
How crooked I am running with my right knee. This is what it's done to my right shoe. And this just shows you the pain that
And then the question is, did that wear pattern come first or the knee pain come first? Is the wear pattern a compensation for the knee, or were you wearing and did that put an odd torque on your knee?
Probably. I'll tell you this. I had knee pain, and then I put these on brand new shoes. I got them for Christmas. Santa brought them to me, and I was running, and I felt good. And now, as I progress, this is happening.
And how's your knee?
And it's not as bad, but I feel it hurting in a different position now.
Right.
So there you go. That's my heel. A
compensating movement pattern.
Compensating movement pattern. There you go. And you drew some pictures over there, and you got a homemade G-bar over there.
They got the G-bar, and in a pinch, this was done in the field. It got a horse happy. Could we come up with all kinds of arguments? Yeah, you can. But at the end of the day, it was done in a pinch, got the horse happy. That's where the clogs came from. It was cutting out plywood, sticking it on feet. I know that there's a lot of people who have done versions of the clog over the years. And to this day, occasionally, with like a little small one or something, especially, I'll make a clog. I've got a bandsaw, belt sander, and all that. They do have store-bought clogs, but some of it comes down to how much stuff can you carry with you all the time.
Right. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed the show and you like this podcast, perform out at your clinic, your location. If you got a spring event coming around, we can do that. We can bring this live performance straight to your front door. The way you do that is go to equinedynamics.com. At the very top of the page says clinics. Fill out that little form. We'll pencil you in. We're going to Europe. I'll spread the word over there in Europe. I need some of your business cards, Mike, so I can take over.
We'll do that.
All right, I'll get some of those and pass them out to all the people in our tour group. And hopefully we'll gain some new listeners over there. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. You can see the full-length podcast in its entirety over there with my my heel shoe and all the drawings and stuff that Mike brought here to the show. And make sure you follow him on Facebook as well. On behalf of Mike Stine over there.
Thank you. Enjoy your ponies. Have a good day. And I was tickled to death to see a young farrier decide to be innovative and find a way to do something.
My name is Travis, saying see you in 2 weeks. Arrivederci.
Just close your eyes and dream, little pal. Dream on. Dusty.
Good night, Ned.
Night, Dusty.
Good night, Ned.
Good night, Ned.